Hey, what's going on, Archons? Welcome to yet another episode of KeyThoughts, my weekly thoughts on the game of KeyForge. And this one is kind of piggybacking on the episode from Archon Arcana, when I had this great realization about a card called Little Nif. But before we get into that, we're going to go into a card of the week. And this week, we are taking a look at one of my favorite cards, both in art and in design. And we have, of course... Oh, can we get the focus here, please? Good grief, folks. There we go. Archimedes. Archimedes. For those of you who don't know, this is probably my favorite card art in the game. If I could request a mat to exist, it would be the Archimedes mat. I wish this card would come back. I can understand why it isn't because of the ruling issues. Basically, any card that has had a ruling issue in some form or another has never been reprinted again, I've noticed. If I am wrong, please tell me, but I feel that statement is correct. And it says, each of Archimedes' neighbors gains destroyed, archive this creature. Really cool ways you can abuse this card and do some really interesting and neat things with it. I absolutely love it for that reason. I think it provides a lot of great options within the game and stuff you can do, especially in Age of Ascension. There's some great playabilities that exist within House Logos and beyond. All right. So, back into the discussion of this week, which is I mentioned the Little Nif aspect, which is kind of in line with the Archimedes playability, which is you have something next to Archimedes. If you get destroyed, it goes to your archive. One slides in next to Archimedes. You now get the destroyed archive trigger, so you can do different things with that. Obviously, bouncing Death Quark is one of the most fun ways to abuse that, as well as some other cards, but I just absolutely love the way that can be done, and you can get reuse of a lot of fun play abilities. Now on to the Little Nif aspect, which does kind of a similar thing. You can fight with Little Nif's creatures, which has the effect that when Little Nif's neighbors fight, they steal one regardless of whether they survive that fight. And so it made me thinking just about like these interesting aspects of the game that were introduced in Age of Ascension that allow kind of this, like, you use your board, something dies, something shuffles in, and you keep getting an effect happen over again. I'm still looking to find a deck so I can have this Magic Christmas Land event where I get like 3 or 4 creatures on either side of Little Nif that I get to use and just keep going in and fighting, stealing, but they don't survive, but I just get to keep stealing my opponent's Ember. I'm really hoping I can pull that off. I'm still looking for the proper deck that can do it, but I just like this aspect of the game where you have an effect that creatures on either side of this one creature get something to happen that's interesting, and them being destroyed actually can benefit the effect. Not just like an effect like Bulwark where it's like they get armor. I want an effect that's like a destroyed effect or a fight effect like Little Nif has. Something really neat like that. I absolutely think it is such a cool part of the game, and I would like to see it utilized more in the future. And so that's what I wanted to just talk about today, is some of these slide effects, we'll call it. So you build a board and you can utilize the board and stuff happens. I mean, I guess, is there really any other stuff out there that fit into this category? I don't think there really is, unless you set up, you know, the drum or not combo in a certain way that it comes down in a different place and you can use it. But I really want to see this explored more. The effect of neighbors get something, you can have those neighbors be destroyed and then get to utilize the effect again with the other neighbor that was adjacent to the one that got destroyed, and now that it is next to the card that provides the effect. So this is kind of a shorter episode, but I just wanted to like literally just throw this out there and have a discussion. Like, what do you guys think of this effect? There's literally, as far as I know, 2 cards that do it. What do you think of this? How good is it? Can it be better? Like, the Little Nif one is actually mind-blowing for me. I had no idea that it worked that way. They did not have to survive. And as I said, the hunt is on to get some fun Little Nif decks going. So just checking in this week, just seeing how y'all are doing. Wanted to know how you feel with this. Please comment below. Tell me what you think about this sort of effect within the game, this kind of mechanic that's I guess a pseudo mechanic. Do you want to see this more? Should we have this more in sets where if you can abuse your neighbors, you get to, oh, that sounded weird. If you can abuse a creature's neighbors with an effect and then destroy those creatures so that the things shuffle in and provide further use of the effect, would you want to see that? What houses would it belong in? Would it belong to one house, or should it be existing within every house and can be done? Let me know. Tell me your thoughts. And as always, folks, may your ember never be stolen and your keys forged promptly. Have a good one.